Machado signed the extension. Talked about that a lot in Talking Baseball. It's a lot of the same Padres stuff. Awesome. Peter Seidler. Remember his name. Say his name a lot. If you're going to mention Uncle Steve Cohen, please say Peter Seidler. The amount of money they're shelling out over there is insane. 11 for $350 for Machado? Something like that.
11 for $350.
It's crazy. His second contract with the Padres now. They signed Tatis to the crazy extension. We shouldn't even say crazy extension. They signed Tatis to the extension. They signed Bogarts. They signed Machado and then signed him to the extension.
Signed you Darvish.
Even Darvish, Musgrove, like that's getting put under the table.
Musgrove completely forgot.
That was 5 for $100. That would be the biggest contract ever signed by the Chicago White Sox. Like, think about that. That's nuts. Hey, you want a flashback, BBD, and a giggle? Remember when Jose Ramirez might be getting traded? Remember when that was like the thing leading up to the season? And will he get traded? They signed him. You know what they signed him to? I think it was 7 for $129.
120 something is the number sticking out in my head.
He's pretty good.
Let's see what that number officially is.
Pretty good signing by the Guard Dogs. And dude, I was even laughing.
124.
I was looking at Yelich's extension. Remember when that was massive? Like, contracts are getting blown out of the water. Awesome for Padres fans. They do have to win a little bit. I know we talked on Talking Baseball with a little bit of like, hey, this is what your team to aspire for. And there was a couple owners' quotes that were like, the Padres haven't won anything yet. They are going to have to make some noise. So like
yes, but they were in the NLCS. They were in the
NLCS, and them and the Phillies were going back and forth. If they brought it back to San Diego, I know a lot of people were doing that game. How about this? If the Padres don't get to the World Series with any of this core, that would be a failure.
Mm-hmm.
They traded for Juan Soto.
Yep, especially, and we'll see how it shakes out. It sounds like they're willing to do whatever the Soto deal is, and that's going to be a big topic for the next 2 years. But certainly over this 2-year period, I think they need to make a run.
There's some pressure on a franchise that traditionally doesn't have a great track record, but it's because they haven't gone out and done stuff like this. So I guess in a way we should all be rooting for Padres if you
want your team that is historically a small market team to spend more money.
To get the cool owner that spends a lot? Yeah. And I would love to know the actual math on it because we danced around it on Talking Baseball. But are the Padres more profitable? Are they same profitable? Are they less profitable? You'd have to assume it's a little less, right? That's why every owner doesn't do it.
A little.
But what does that mean? We have no idea. So in a way, we're all rooting for the Padres. Happy for Manny Machado. Already has 50-plus career WAR.
Pretty good.
Sneaky putting together like a elite Hall of Fame career. And a lot of people still don't like him because he was the punk on the Orioles. Like, we gotta get past that.
Ages 20 to 24, he was a little bit of a jerk.
Guess what? I was an idiot until I was like 26. So again, it's kind of the same song and dance for Padres fans. That's where I don't think it's a deep dive. You wonder where it goes. Like we joked about, are they going to sign Shohei? Are they like, where does it end? I don't know. And by the way, they should be competing with the Dodgers in the West Coast. Gavin Lux just went down with an injury. So we hate that for Gavin Lux, who's the sneaky John Boy Media guy.
Yeah.
Like interacts and engages and stuff. We saw him at Bingo. So we hate that for him. He kind of broke out last year and was looking to build on that even more.
We'll see where that lands.
Dodgers had kind of that quiet offseason. I don't know.
They're coming down from 111, but definitely coming down from 111.
And where's it land? Is there any other big baseball news? Maybe I'll save it for next episode. We'll do just like a buying way too much stock this early in spring training.
Yeah.
Because Vladdy's 2 home runs, man. We're like, holy shit. Dude's a freak.
We're doing this.
I'll bop around a little bit because I came home from the wedding, so I'll do the sports weekend a little bit. Still recovering, coming back, getting into it. College basketball is in peak form. If you didn't see the Iowa-Michigan State comeback, that was awesome. March Madness is still something that's hard to compete with on any level. Just the way they do it is so, so good. In college basketball, I think the product in general, keeping up for a full season is down. A lot of that talent goes to the NBA early. I think it's just a fact. That being said, I think it leads to more chaos, and that's kind of the beauty of college basketball. Iowa hits 5 threes in the last 40 seconds after their coach stared down the ref to take that game to overtime and win. Wisconsin, Michigan. I watched some of that game. That was absolute madness. It's that time of year. My UConn Huskies, I saw they were up to 14th in the poll this week. I like that a lot. And it's kind of that time of year. I'd love to do a March Madness bracket episode. I've engaged with Titus a couple times on Twitter. I remember, I think I did the same dance last year, and I think I felt bad because, like, March Madness week has to be, like, his busiest week ever. I feel real rude being like, hey, let's do something now. So maybe even, like, the week before, but that's, like, coming up.
Yeah.
It's almost next week. We got some big stuff going on, too. The Alabama stuff was crazy. I'm not going to dive into that. I don't know enough to be honest with you, but if you didn't see it, Brandon Miller, who's caught up in this gun thing, and
it's now more than him.
Gun, and I don't know. It's not good. He's playing, which again, I don't know enough information to know if that's right or wrong. But this might be the only place in the world you might hear him defend it a little bit. He comes out, and his pregame routine is his teammate did the pat him down thing, which I guess is an homage to actually UFC, like when they go in the ring and they get checked out beforehand. But still, it looks like a person getting pat down, which the other way for that is getting pat down for a gun. The optics couldn't be worse. The guy was just involved in like a murder thing.
Can't do that.
Where Papi Gordo is somewhat defending him, and again, it probably feels like a crazy sentence. I'm not defending that at all. I'm defending the fact that he's 18 years old. I was just defending Manny Machado for doing something not even in that realm, by the way. But there's people out there that don't like Manny Machado because he, threw a bat when he was 21?
Yeah, bad luck. Threw it, I believe, at Josh Donaldson, people don't like. So
whatever my guy's involved in is obviously bad and not even near anything Manny Machado, and there's people that don't like him. The fact that he did that and they didn't even process it just shows how young he is. So I hope, and this is the final spin on it, I hope in 10 years we're talking about him as a great NBA player who's a good guy that does good stuff in the community or whatever else you're looking for in your professional athletes, and he, this was a blip on his radar and it, whatever. I hope we can, because he's great. He's very young. To do that is so stupid. So stupid that you have to be young to do something like that. So I hope we're talking about a young man that learns a lot from it and grows and becomes better from everything that's going on. Again, I don't know. But man, when I saw that, your heart sinks, because that's so bad. That's so dumb. That's so young. So weird sports weekend there, but I'm fully jazzed up for March Madness. I'll say that. I know we all end up there, but this weekend was a really good dose of it. What was the other thing? I watched the golf. Again, I make this plea every year. I'm probably going to make it big time around the Masters. Golf, I think, and baseball have similar parallels. I think there's a time in your life when you lose baseball a little bit. If you're at college, or sometimes watching a game on a Saturday or Friday night isn't what you should be doing. But come back when you're in the working world. I got something for you. 7 to 10 every night. Indulge whatever you're into. Golf is kind of in the same boat, probably a couple years later, because what happened on Sunday, and I know some of you are already checking out, 2 guys were in the final pairing. One guy hadn't won in like 5 years. The other guy hasn't won. And they started looking like civilian golfers because pressure is a real thing. And it's just a good reminder. One guy had a shot where as long as he didn't put it in the water, he basically would have won the tournament. He put it in the water. The other guy, he had a chip. If he put it anywhere around the hole, he would have won the tournament. Put it off the green. It's one of the best examples of pressure in sports, and I think it shows both sides. Like, you'll see 2 guys turn it up and go at each other, and it's like mano a mano. You'll also see guys feel the pressure, and sometimes it can be a tough scene. So the Masters is probably the best tournament in golf, arguably the best tournament in sports. So I will enthuse you to go watch that when it comes up this year, which should be pretty soon. So that was my sports weekend. I'm excited for Celtics-Knicks tonight. I haven't been excited for a lot of Knicks games. I've been catching some as they pop up. The way the Knicks have been playing, and the Celtics are like Eastern Conference favorites right now.
Yeah. Missing a key player tonight, but
who's out?
Jaylen Brown's out tonight.
Good.
They're still favored.
Even better for Los Knicks. 2.5 tickets. Pretty penny at the Garden still to get in the house there, by the way.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
That's tough.
Gave those a look and then didn't. NBA, I'm starting to get excited to kind of catch up and see where things are at. The standings are pretty wild. And I think it's kind of part of the problem with the NBA right now. Like, I don't know who would do it in our office. Maybe Paxton. She's a pretty big NBA fan, but if you went around and asked people to seed the West right now, Nuggets, Grizz, Kings, Suns, Clippers, Mavs, Golden State, Utah, A-Rods, T-Wolves. I don't know. I
4 seed and what's that? 13th seed are within 4 games.
The West is pretty crazy. LeBron with, what did he say? It's like 23 games, biggest 23 games of his career or something. He's doing something like that because, I mean, if the Lakers aren't involved, what are we doing? So I don't know. I've been pretty detached from NBA. I really think they have a problem with the rest nights and just currently how it's set up. Like, I'm not saying this, is Jaylen Brown hurt or is he like rest night?
I honestly don't know.
Like,
somewhere between.
How about this? If it was a playoff game, is Jaylen Brown probably playing? Because I didn't know he was hurt.
Safe bet. People were joking about how he's scared of RJ and because RJ kills the Celtics. So I can't say for sure.
Jaylen Brown to miss Knicks clash for personal reasons.
Okay, so yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, and that's not the best example. But players in the NBA have found out they can take rest days, and it doesn't affect their standing on the team or anything. And the NBA has kind of figured out that that's what keeps those guys happy, and that's what keeps them from demanding trades. And you'll still get in the playoffs.
Yeah, we as fans and then the media, like, we put such an emphasis on rings now. They're the only thing that matters, and nothing you do in the regular season should matter. So there's a little bit. Can't be mad at the players for saying, like, well, fuck that then, and I'm going to be rested for when the playoffs get here.
In each round of the NBA playoffs, you see 1 or 2 guys get hurt that are like main dudes. So would you rather keep them? Would you rather be the 4 seed and have them being worn out and playing 5 extra games, or would you rather be the 6 seed and have them fresh? Like, it's a pretty simple equation. I think it's tough for the NBA that on a given night, like, you turn on a game and odds are there's a star missing. Like, I would love to see that stat. And maybe that's fully unfair. My pulse hasn't been on the NBA for a little bit, but that's okay. Knicks are trying to hook me back in, playing good ball, baby.
Playing good ball, investments in the future that are good. they can go after kind of anybody they want if something pops up.
I'll watch that game tonight. NHL trade deadline. Rumors Patrick Kane is coming to the Rangers. Reminder, I went to a wedding with Patrick Kane.
Oh, yeah.
So, we might be able to sneak something in there. NFL, I think we're coming up on the combine, or is it just Panic?
I think the
real
combine's
combine
coming.
is
It's like,
happening. That's
why?
it comes out, yeah.
Check out the John Boy Media Combine. It's out.
Carson Wentz got released. There's a lot of good quarterback stuff going on there. I always get into the combine, so I'm about that life. Ended up being a weird but kind of fun sports area as I came back from my wedding, Baker's. It's a good time. Like everyone says, it goes by quick, and me and Jess are obnoxious enough that it wasn't even... A lot of weddings are one day. We dragged people a long ways away to do multiple days. It's all a blur. It was a lot of fun. It's a weird thing. There's a lot of attention on you, but it's also not like real attention. Like, you don't have a lot of real conversations because, you see... Oh, there's two couples, Hey, how are you? Travels were good. Oh, okay. How fun. All right. Oh, there's Uncle Mike. All right. Hey, Uncle Mike, how are you?
So kind of everybody's like on the same page. Like, oh, we can't take up too much of their time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Had a couple weird moments at the end where I was just like, damn. Like, we saw a couple at the airport when we were flying out. It was like, hey, how are you? I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have I seen you? Did you talk to anyone? Couple good things I can give you. Always Joe's McFly. Just undefeated. I don't know where you start or finish. A couple of his outfits were just unreal. And his whole vibe. I'll tell you what not to do. Don't watch Interstellar on your flight back. Kind of a weird, wonky movie, and you're in a weird, wonky mood after your wedding. I was on the airplane just like, this is hell. Am I dead? Am I alive? Am I older than my daughter? What am I right now? So that was odd. Danced a lot. You guys may have seen some of that. Couple good moments. You plan out this wedding in like crazy detail, too much detail. Jess's dad was supposed to speak, and he did. And he did a very nice job. He said some nice words about me. And this takes you right into the Storielli family brain and teaches you a little bit about myself. My mom steps up, grabs the mic, and goes, I didn't know we were doing speeches. It's because you weren't supposed to be doing speeches, but she gave a little speech. So then my dad saw my mom give a speech, so then he gave a speech. So then Jess's mom... So it turned into open mic for our parents. And it actually ended up being a nice moment because you're in this kind of like, is everything going right? Is everything okay? Is food coming out? To when that first, I don't want to say first thing went wrong, but when it happened and then you're like, it doesn't matter, you're like, all right, you know what? Why don't we enjoy the wedding? So I was actually kind of anxious up until that point. We enjoyed it. Other thing about the wedding, some of the countries near the equator and the island and stuff, it's always just like 80 and sunny, but they'll get like 5 minutes of rain, and that's how it works, and that's it. So the couple days leading up to the wedding, there would be gray cloud, huge gust of wind, 5 minutes of downpour, and then it was done. And you're just like, okay, I guess that's how it works down here. Day of the wedding. Come out to the wedding. I'm down there. Jess walks down the aisle. Right as she walks down the aisle, gray cloud, huge gust of wind. Starts lightly raining. It's like, oh boy, here we go. The photographer, who's a local guy, I'm about to give him the look of like, hey, should everyone straight take cover for like 5 minutes? And maybe that's the best thing. Look at Jess. Jess is dialed in. She's about to get married, and nothing's going to stop that. The rain held off. Everything went well. So it was good. After, there's boat day. You guys may have seen some content from that. That was rowdy. Still some pictures and videos leaking of that. And And then the final story, I think I'll tell quick. So you do the ceremony, the rain held, yay, we did it. There's like a drink ceremony after. So me and Jess, do pictures. This is our first time like joining the wedding. Like we're married, we're coming up for drinks. We walk in. I'm all 6s and 7s looking around. I see one of my buddies, and I'm just out of excitement. I squeeze his tush, and then he walks past me, and I touch his front a little bit, kind of scrape. There might have been some downstairs stuff, but
you never know.
Just being silly, that's how we've greeted each other in the past. I do that right in front of one of Jess's uncles, who I don't have a relationship with. And I can only imagine what's going on through his head. He just watched his niece get married. And there I am groping one of my friends. So that had to be a weird feeling for him. It was a weird feeling for me. So yeah, that's kind of what I got. Was the most tired, one of the most tired I've ever been. Was after the boat day. It was just 3 days of attention and craziness. But I did have, for one of the first times, at the end of it, 9 or 10 days in, which is a lot, but you're missing Starbucks and Dunkin'. You're missing the dog. Dog was a big piece of it.
Yeah.
Love that dog. And you're just missing routine. You're wearing a bathing suit every day, and you're just like, I don't know. I kind of
once you get past the week mark, it's like, oh, okay.
Ran out of clothes, and so I did a little thing of laundry at the resort, which is $30 to do 3 shirts and 2 pairs of underwear. So then you're I'm juggling those to keep those fresh. I got that a little bit, but in a nice way. I was very glad it was over, because there's just way too much planning, and Jess is getting stressed out, and you're talking about these things for a year and a quarter. In another way, I just cannot believe it's over, man. Married, ring on the finger. You're supposed to not do that again. I got Jeremy in our office, who's as nice as a guy as you can be.
Real sweetheart. Just
a nice guy. I got him pretty good with, and it's what I was thinking while I was watching Interstellar. Right, my rites of passage are almost done. It's kid and death. So that's scary.
Sort of the rest of them are the kids stuff, and you just enjoy that from the other perspective.
Jeremy's so nice, he added grandparent to that, which half counts. Half points.
But that's that's your kid's spot.
Everything else the rest of the way is so old. So a little scared of that. But excited to be back with the Bakers.
Maybe you'll retire one day.
That could be nice, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully we'll still be baking by then, if you know what I mean. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Baseball is approaching. There's some blitzball stuff coming. Probably going to be some heavy baseball stuff the rest of the way. I kind of like spring training too early analysis. Maybe we'll do some divisional stuff. The TPPs are coming out on Talking Baseball. PPPs, everything else. Maybe some top 10 in the worst. Keeping track at home. Bakers, I love you guys. Good to be back. We'll do it again Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Bye.